Hello and welcome to Share Talk, where today I'm joined by Nigel Robinson, who's CEO at Central Asia Metals. How are you today, Nigel?
I'm very well, thank you. Zach, how are you?
I'm doing fine. This is my first broadcast here on this new technology.
Right.
But I'm enjoying myself. First question, can you start by telling us a little bit about your company, Central Asia Metals?
Yeah, by all means. A little bit of a potted history. We are a London-based and London-listed base metals producer. We have two operations. One's in a country called North Macedonia, which is in the Balkan area, in just from Europe, just north of Greece. And the other one is in Kazakhstan, which is in the Central Asian region. We were listed on the stock exchange back in 2010, doing an IPO at the time onto the alternative investment market, where we raised $60 million, primarily focused to develop the Kounrad project in Kazakhstan.
Right, and today is a special day in terms of a milestone that your company's reached, I believe.
Well, indeed it is actually, Zach. Yes, we've been operating, as I say, we raised the money back in 2010 for this project, and it's not your traditional mining project. It's actually a project that develops or produces, should I say, pure cathode copper from waste dumps. So this is an old open pit mine that was operated way back through to 1936. And in traditional means of producing copper, produced about 33 million tons of copper. And then in 2007, the company, Central Asia Metals, that is, which was not a PLC at the time, won the tender to develop that project from what was the waste dumps, the ore effectively, that the previous owners could not process. And we won that tender on a joint basis with the local government. We now own the project 100%. Over the course of the years, we've acquired 100% of it. And today we're celebrating having produced, as I say, 100,000 tons of pure copper cathode from those waste dumps in Kazakhstan.
And where does the copper that you produce get sold?
Well, most of the copper that we produce gets sold to what we call an off-taker. So people in the mining game will often sell their products to, a customer who then sells it on to another customer who uses the actual physical product. So the people we trade with is a company called Traxys. Most of the time since we've been producing, and we started producing copper on the 30th of April 2012, almost 8 years ago, have been selling it and taking it over the borders into Turkey for a company that produces copper wire for use in transmission of electricity, 35,000 volt electricity cables. But it could be sold anywhere. It is pure copper cathode. It doesn't need any further refining. And so Traxys is our, if you like, our customer, can sell that anywhere in the world to Europe or into China. And we leave that as their responsibility. And they pay us, having produced the copper, at the factory gate, so to speak, once we've done the paperwork, and they will pay us on that basis.
Okay. And how many people work at Kounrad?
Yeah, it's not a large number of people, and indeed the amount of copper we're celebrating having produced today is not, in world terms, a large amount of copper. I mean, the world produces and consumes in excess of 20 million tons of copper per annum, and so 100,000 tons is a small amount really over a period of 8 years. But for us, as I say, it's a significant achievement because it's very high quality copper. It's very low cost copper. We're one of the world's lowest cost producers. We're well into the lowest decile of production. And the reason we are low cost is, one, because of, as you say, we don't employ that many people in the area. We employ about 325 people in just north of a town called Balkhash, which is a town of about 60,000 people in Kazakhstan. And we're also low cost because we don't move any of the ore around. In fact, as I said before to you, Zach, it's not a traditional mining operation. This is electrolysis of copper through catching it in solution. So about 325 local people. All of them are local as well. About 99% of our workforce come from the local town, and we've, over the years, trained them, developed them and improved their skills through the technical director, a chap called Nicholson, a few people that we've placed on site to train them. But it's kind of self-contained now, 8 years into it, and so not only is it a great celebration for us as a company listed in London, but it's a fantastic celebration for the local workforce who, it's testament to their skills and their dedication and loyalty to actually deliver on this project.
Okay, and before you acquired the Sasa mine, all dividends from profits made at Kounrad, they came from that area. How much money did Central Asia Mining shareholders make during this period?
Well, as I say, we listed in 2010. We raised $60 million to develop this particular project. We came in on time and under budget. The initial construction was about $39 million. The rest of the money we raised was for general development of other projects. We have projects in Mongolia and other parts of Kazakhstan, which sadly haven't come to anything. And and Kounrad, should I say, the copper facility in Kazakhstan, has really been a success factor of the company that's developed the company. And since that time, when we went into production, as I said before, in April 2012, the first copper was produced then, having constructed the plant. We've further developed the operation. We've spent in total now $75 million on site to develop it into the current facility that it is. It's fully developed. It's got a life of mine out to 2034. And as I said before, Zach, because it is such low cost, very shortly after producing the first copper that we produced, we announced a dividend policy. And up to about 2017, the end of 2017, we paid back to shareholders $129 million in dividends. So that's from, a kind of standing start of raising $60 million, paying back $129 million through the success of Kounrad. So it has been a really successful project, thanks to the hard work of the local staff. Thanks to some hard work from the London staff as well, I have to say. And a very low cost operation, well in the lowest decile of world copper producers in terms of cost base.
So finally, you've sort of answered it already, but I mean, you've got to this stage. Did you ever think you were going to get to this stage?
That's a good question. I mean, you do go through some various bumps along the road, as we all do. We're going through a particular bump at the moment, aren't we? The world is going over a bump at the moment. But yeah, I think we were always confident that we had the skills. We have a very good technical team here in London. A chap, as I said before, Howard Nicholson. The CEO at the time was a chap called Nick Clark, very experienced mining engineer. And I think amongst the three of us, Howard, Nick, and myself, whilst we experienced challenges along the way, we were always very confident we could deliver the project and deliver the returns for the shareholders from that particular project. So yes, I was CFO at the time. So I've been CFO for 9 years, and I was promoted to CEO when Nick moved up to chairman a couple of years back. So yeah, I think we were confident. But obviously, it's a great milestone. It's a great day to celebrate 100,000 tons. And you do have moments where you think, are we ever going to get there or whatever? But you get over those challenges and you move forward, really.
Nigel Robinson, CEO of Central Asia Metals, thank you very much indeed.
Zach, thank you very much, and look after yourself. Bye.
Oh, bye.